right. Woohoo! Okay, ladies, this is our coach call. So we have 30 minutes to hash out info that you guys need to know and open it up for you guys to ask questions. So the first thing that I want you guys to be aware of is Beachbody is rolling out a brand new onboarding training that it's going to be super simplified and is really solid. I've already gone through all the videos. There's only 5. There's 5 videos, and it's a total of 22 minutes long. So this is what we are going to transition into starting our new coaches, because everything is, I feel like everything just needs to be simplified right now. This business isn't hard. People are making it a lot harder than it actually is. And so we're just going to go straight over to this for all new coaches. I want every single one of you, if you've been coaching for 29 years, you're still going to do it, because you need to know what your coaches are also going to be starting with. So as soon as it rolls out, and it should be rolling out, the last we heard was on the 30th, okay? So it'll show in your back office. You'll log into your Coach Online office. You'll click training. And then I don't know if it'll say getting started or onboarding system. It'll say something along those lines. And there's basically a welcome video, getting your website getting your website set up and whatever, a coach office overview, Success Club system, and getting your first group started, and then a Shakeology video. That's it. So that is what I want you guys all to go through as soon as it launches. And I'm sure there'll be a coach breaking news on it. So make sure that you guys are staying up to date on that stuff, because there's always new things on there that sometimes I forget to check, and I'm like, oh shoot, that's cool. Like for instance, I just saw that you can turn on notifications to get emails for your alerts now. So you know how when you get a new customer, you get a new coach, and you don't know until you log into the back office? Well, now they've fixed it so you can set up an email notification so it alerts you when you get the new people. Holla, we've been asking for that for so long. So make sure you do that. I think you probably have to do it from your computer, because I couldn't see the option from my phone. Yes, Candace just said you have to enable, yeah, from a computer. Perfect, we're on the same wavelength. Okay, so that's cool. So that's just a little PS, so when you're getting new coaches started, you already have everything. All they're gonna do is go through that. My personal game plan is I'm going to have them go through that. And then the next thing that I'm going to send them is my deconstructed power hour. So at that point, they have all the foundation, and then they just need to know how to do a power hour. And if you know how to do a power hour, you know how to build a $1 million business, period. That's how you do it. So that's what I'm going to do. And then once they've hit Success Club a couple months and they have a solid kind of groove and they're being consistent, then I will get them access to the unit so that they can learn more while they're doing. This business is a do business and then learn. And everyone right now is trying to learn before they do. And then they're not ever getting to the do part because they're so stuck and paralyzed in trying to learn all the things first. So we're just kind of trying to shift gears a little bit, because that's where I found success. That's where my coaches earlier on found success. We didn't know all the things. We just had to figure it out. And then now we're so educated in how to be successful that we try to teach you all the things we know, and then you don't ever do any of the things because you're just trying to learn. So this is going to be super rad. It's going to be super exciting. It's going to simplify everything. It's going to help coaches have success earlier. Speaking of, one of my coaches, is she on? Oh, she is, Sam. So my coach Sam signed up 1 week ago, okay? 1 week ago, this past week, she signed up 7 coaches. One of her coaches got to Emerald, and one of her coaches has 1 coach. So she made like $580 week 1. So if you're like, oh, how long does it take to make money in the business? However long you want it to take, but you can make over $500 your first week if you get to work. So I asked her what she did. And so basically she was in personal conversation. She said she was texting her warm market. She was texting the people she already knew, loved, and trusted. And she was like, hey, she just had a baby. So she's like, I'm restarting my journey. I'm doing MM100. Come do it with me. She reached out to friends. She reached out to family. And then she started sharing her journey, sharing that she was starting in her stories, in her posts, and doing polls, and then reaching out personally to those people. So you guys, it's not like magic. It's just doing the work and putting yourself out there and really just being authentic and being bold and being confident in what you have. So I don't want you guys to sit, if you're watching this as like a newer coach and you're like, okay, well now I suck because I'm still here after 6 months and haven't sold anything. I don't want you to compare. I want you to know that if she did it, it's possible for anyone. And that's the beauty of this business, is that if one person has done anything that you think is cool and that you would like to do, then you can do it too. And if you ever get stuck comparing, ever, just smack yourself in the face and be like, that's stupid. If she can do it, I can do it. And don't let yourself get in like that negative space of self-doubt and loathing and sulking. That's all bad, stupid crap. Let those things that you are stuck comparing inspire you to take action. And that's where your life will start to change. She put in the comments, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. So apparently she was following up like a boss mama. Okay. Yes. So, and yeah, she's shooting for Diamond this week. So send up the good vibes. So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about. This business is so basic. Don't overcomplicate it. Okay. That's why I'm like so fired up about this new training, because it's all, you're going to go through it probably and be like, well, that was nothing I haven't heard before. And that was basic. Sweet. That's all you need to know to then go change a million lives. And that's what you guys need to be hearing is right now, you know, all of the things you need to know, you just need to do. Okay. So what questions do you guys have? I had one of my coaches asked a question in the thread. She can't be on live, but she wanted to answer it. So she said she's kind of fallen off. She wants to get back into her coaching group. And how do you go about that? Like, so if you've fallen off, you want to get back at it, how do you go about sharing again and talking about a group? And I just told her, like, you're just authentic in it. So anytime I feel like this awkwardness, I address the awkward. That gets it right out of the way. So I would do a post and be like, okay, I have fallen off the wagon and then the wagon rolled over me and I feel like shiz. So I'm drawing a line in the sand and I'm committing to blah, blah, blah. You tell them what you're committing to. And I would love it if I had a few girls that did it with me so we could lock arms and do it together. Because obviously I can't do this on my own and we can do it together. Does anyone have some goals you want to crush the holiday season? And you just are real about it, okay? Anytime you're like feeling funky, you address the elephant and then you can move on. And then it's just like you clear the air and you go. So that would always be my biggest advice. That goes for pregnancy, that goes for anything. Whenever you're like, well, I'm feeling weird because I'm pregnant and I haven't talked about it yet. I'm like, then talk about it. Because the second you talk about it, you can then be like, okay, now that I've told you I'm pregnant and I'm not showing, but I feel like shiz and I can't get out of bed and da-da-da, it makes sense why you're feeling the way you do, why you're doing the things you're doing, why you're changing. And lots of people are like, well, I don't want to tell until I'm 13 weeks. Well, you know what? Our business is sharing who we are. It's sharing our life. It's sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly, and sharing our message through the mess. So I always led with, well, you know what? If I happen to miscarry, I'm going to share about that struggle and that trial too. So I might as well just let people know my excitement and this new chapter in this new season. And then if I struggle through it or if I go through things, I can share the things and I can share the struggles and I can pull back layers and I can relate to people through all of those things as well. Okay. So don't ever think like your journey gets so much easier sharing when you're just authentic and you're not trying to cast this perfect picture or this perfect image of a story or write out this story that isn't actually happening. Dude, that's stressful. Don't try and do that. just be real. Just be real in what's going on. Be real in who you are. And then it kind of just flows because you don't have to feel like you have to pretend or be someone you're not and be inauthentic. And then that's just weird. Okay. Yeah, for real, Jared, because then it opens up a whole new market. It totally does. Yes, Megan, no mom should have to go through miscarriage alone. And that's true. Like, how many women have gone through miscarriages and don't tell a soul, except for like their husband and maybe their mom? And they feel so isolated. They struggle through it. They have no support. That's so much harder. So yes, Jalen, I love it. Okay, now what questions do you guys have? Anything else? I know you do. Just unmute yourself, or you can ask in the chat. This is the awkward silence. You guys, we only have 15 more minutes. And at the very end, you're going to have 29 questions pop up in your brain at 9:29. I promise.
Micah.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey, Erin.
I had a question. Okay. I signed somebody up and I thought I was meeting Emerald last night. They swapped over to Coach, but they, I guess I didn't think about them having to order. So it still says inactive.
So did they transfer from a challenger?
Yes.
Okay, this is great. I'm glad you asked this. This screwed me over too. When I was trying to go diamond, I had 2 inactive coaches that week that I was supposed to go diamond because they were transferring from challengers and I didn't know that their volume didn't follow them. So then it took another week. So this is great. When a challenger transfers, when they sign up to coach, all they're doing is paying the $40. So Beachbody system doesn't know that they're the same person that got the challenge pack until they fill out the challenge pack waiver form. So in your back office under support, there's forms and documents. There's I don't even know what it says, challenge pack, free coach enrollment form or waiver or something like that. All they need to do is fill that out. They fill out their coach ID, their email, their challenge pack order date, and then it says, did you have a 90 HD order within the past 30 days? They would click yes, as long as they did. And that volume is what transfers to their coach account and activates them. So there's a delay. So that's why like the second that a challenger transfers, that's the next step. Okay, sweet. Let's get your coach fee refunded because their $40 that they pay gets refunded back to them when they fill out this form. So that's just the next step. So it'll reflect next week on Thursday.
Well, will that mess up as far as Emerald from this past month? It will not.
It will for Emerald. Are you talking about for like Success Club and Leads?
Yeah.
So they'll do a one-time exception. So if you go Emerald, if you have Emerald in place before the end of the month, but it hasn't officially gone Emerald yet, they'll do one-time exception and you'll qualify for Leads. So, but you have to request it. It doesn't happen on its own. So you'll have to do a live chat with Coach Relations and say, I have Emerald. It won't reflect until blah, blah. Can I get a one-time exception or whatever?
Hey, Micah, something that comes up a lot with the challenge pack enrollment waiver. I just had a coach ask this week. It's not 30 days from when they sign up that they have to be signed up as a coach. You have to fill out that waiver within 30 days of them signing up as a coach. They could have bought a challenge pack 2 years ago and still sign up for free. But a lot of people think, no, I missed the time window. They've been signed up as a customer for more than 30 days. Like, no. They can be a coach anytime. It's the waiver has to be filled out within 30 days of them signing up as a coach.
Yep. So yeah, just make that clock work. Like if a challenger converts, next step, fill out the waiver, and then you're good to go. Megan said, I'm trying to hit Emerald, and when I'm trying to get someone from my warm market to sign up essentially as a challenger but as a coach, how do you talk to them about the $16 a month coach fee if they aren't sold on the savings with product use yet? Does anyone want to answer this? I can, but I've talked a lot. So, okay, Jalen, go.
I will. I always just tell them it sets them up to have the discount next month. Try it for a few weeks. If they love it, they don't have to do anything. They're going to save, oh my gosh, my baby's screaming, $20 to $30 a month on their Shakeology. If they're like, this isn't my jam, it's the same effort with an email form to cancel as it is as a customer to cancel their Shakeology. They have to use an email form no matter what. So this just saves them a step.
Can I tack on to that?
Yep.
So I heard a really good analogy from Kate Schultz about, I think that's how you say her last name, that it's just like a Costco membership, that you're just explaining that it's no one freaks out about the fact that you have to buy a Costco membership, because once you pay for the membership, you're going to save a ton because you have it. It's the same concept with ours, that not only are you going to save money on your Shakeology, if you decide you want to use collagen, if you want bars for your kids, if your kids are in sports and you want to give them something cleaner than Hydrate, if you want to buy some workout clothes, if you there's way more things that they can use their membership for than just Shakeology. They could use it on there's a lot.
Yes. And so that's the importance, you guys, of also talking about all of those things in your stories and your challenges and your posts, just authentically sharing what you're using, because then it makes sense. If you're going to save 25% off all of those things, then it makes sense for them to just get hooked up with the discount anyways. And they're going to be way more likely to try other things when they know they're going to save on it. Okay. Kim, I had someone that was interested, and when we talked about the price and what she gets, she never messaged me back. How soon do you follow up, and how do you follow up? Within a day or so of talking about specifics, I would just check in. I would just, hey girl, I just wanted to check in. What are you thinking? You want to jump in? Just keep it super simple. Don't just assume that just because you set the price, she's like MIA and hates you. Just assume that life got busy and you need to do your job and check in and see where she's at and answer any questions. Objections are not a bad thing, you guys. Objections are merely lack of information, lack of confidence in themselves, lack of just, they just need to know more. They need to feel more. They need to whatever. So don't be scared to get an objection. That just is feedback on what they're not getting yet. So that just gives us another opportunity to add some value, to educate them a little bit better, to empower them to take this next step with you and to start their journey. So just make sure that your energy is transferring, because that's honestly the most important thing, is if they can feel how excited you are to help them and kind of remind them of the goals that they shared with you and help them know how they're going to feel when they hit those goals and when they start this journey and they do the things that they feel like they can't do right now, that's what's going to get them off the fence, right? More than just throwing more information at them.
Can I add on to that too? I feel like I'm talking a lot now.
Yeah, go.
So I followed so many coaches. And now that I'm in the business, I can see I was following a lot of 15 stars. And I asked multiple 15 stars. I talked to multiple top 10 followed up with me ever. And so, and in my head, it didn't, whatever. Then I talked to Jaylyn. Jaylyn followed up. And the day she followed up, that she was like, hey, were you still thinking of signing up? I messaged her 5 minutes later and was like, I'm done. That's what I needed, is I needed to know I was important, that I'm not just a number to you, that that you care about me. I'm not a number. And I've never, ever, ever had someone be mean when I've followed up with them. They always are like, you know what, even if the time's not right, that they say, time's not right now, but thank you for not forgetting about me. When I'm ready, I'm going to come to you. I want you to be my coach. I'm just not ready, or it's not a good time, or whatever. It makes them feel important and that they're not just a number. It's so important to follow up.
Love it. Love it. It's so true, you guys. Following up is the most important part of the equation, honestly. I have a few girls, Kaylee said, I have a few girls who vote on my polls to do MN100. I never hear back. They keep voting. So I know it's not an accident. How are you responding when you're messaging them back? Can you unmute yourself at all? Or just type if you need to. We'll see. I would just say though, I'm just very blunt. I basically just say what I say in my head. So if you're dude, how many times are you going to vote before you jump in? I would say that. I would be like, hey, girlfriend, how many more polls do you want to vote on before you actually get started? Like, that's just my personality, though. That's like my sense of humor. So I would, whatever you guys think in your head, honestly, make it nice. Don't be like a biddy about it and be like, okay, blah, blah. Like, just be real, but don't overthink it. Like, there's no right or wrong, but I honestly would say that. I would be like, okay, girl, it's like your 12th poll. You ready to go yet? And she'll probably be like, oh my gosh, I know. One of these days I need to. And be like, what's holding you back? Just find out what's holding you back. What's keeping you from starting? You know, just have that conversation. Megan, what system do you use for tracking new connections and follow-ups? I use my collections 100%. I have my people in a collection that I'm connecting with. And as soon as I invite all of them, so I don't track invites because everyone in my collections gets an invite. And what I track is who says yes, they want info. And when they say yes, I want some info, they go into my follow-up collection. And that's who I continue to love on even more, because then they're like super close. Even if they don't get started right away, they're still like hotter market. So I continue to love on them even more. And every single month when I'm filling a group and I have a reason to check in with them, I am. And I'm following up with those girls. So that's how I track, and it's just simplified everything because I'm on my phone 99% of the time working. I'm not at my computer unless I'm like on calls. I'm like doing whatever. And so that's just what works best for me. But there's all sorts of, there's, what is it called? Teamsy is solid for tracking. If you're like on your computer, that works really well. The Gmail, what is it called again? But Streak is a really good tracking system. So whatever, no tracking system works unless you actually are consistent with it. And that's what you just need to see. Okay, what works for me? How can I implement and be consistent and go with that? Okay, I see a lot of stuff coming through. Hold on. Ruthie, I'm so frustrated with people saying they can't afford it, pressing them to buy it, and trying to point out that they could if they gave up Starbucks, etc. Comes off slimy and somewhat condescending, but like, I can't afford it. She's getting, I can't afford it a lot lately. I mean, it just comes down to prioritizing. So I can't afford it is simply, it's not important to me right now. And that's just what you have to understand. So like, that's not your fault if it's not important to them to feel better and to change their life. You just need to build enough value in what you're doing and create enough excitement and energy that they see that they can't afford not to do it with you. So I would just like take it as a challenge to you to kind of like up the ante and like what you're offering in your posts, in your content, in what you're sharing, in the value that you have as a coach. Share your challenger results, share teammate results and what they're kind of missing out on by not doing it with you, and help them see the bigger picture. I can't afford it is, I mean, there's not very many people that legit can't afford it. There are some, but there really aren't that many that couldn't make it work if they really wanted to. And so it just comes down to them wanting to. So I don't know. Do you guys have anything else about that? And this is coming from like, you've already broken down the value. You've helped them see how much they're saving. You're helping them see what they're actually getting, and they're still saying I can't afford it. Like an actual money thing. That's just what it comes down to.
In my opinion too, like I got this a lot at the first because I legit couldn't afford it, you guys. Like my mom bought my challenge pack. So like I was one of those people that was like, I can't afford this, but I'm going to friggin' figure it out anyway. Hence why I became a coach. And I got a lot of those because my people, my tribe at the time, were also broke. And so I started to change who I was talking to. I purposely talk about things that cost money, like Ulta makeup. I don't talk about drugstore makeup. I talk about Ulta makeup and shopping at Bohm and all of these things, because people who like that can afford a challenge pack. So when I changed my dialogue of how I was talking and the people I was talking to, I got people who could actually afford it, not the broke jokes like I was.
Good. Okay, coming back up. Bryn, tagging on one more thing too about Megan's question about the fee. I also love to send a voice text or video message explaining what that coach fee does for people who want to work the business to sprinkle coaching, because I love that we are one of the only MLMs who doesn't have to worry about shipping and stocking and returns and customer service and all that shiz. Beachbody takes care of us, and I always love to sprinkle that in when talking to discount coach interests. That's awesome too. So Sam said she needs a training on the collections. So yeah, I have trainings in the units. The deconstructed power hour, I talk about how I use the units, but there's also an actual specific training on collections somewhere in there. And if you search the PS page, if you just look up Instagram collections or IG collections, I bet a video would come up too. Because there's been a couple where I literally just explained it the whole time. So I know they're in there. Let me know if you can't find them and I'll search too. Perfect. Bryn said there's a training on collections and team inspiration. What tracker are you using to track? I saw in the files there are different ones. Yeah, so every day, you guys, Success Club System Tracker is what you use to know exactly what to do. And then how you track the people is up to you. I use collections. You could just do pen and paper, Streak, Teamsy. I just do collections. And then I write down the names that are like super, like I've sent a share cart, I write their name down so that I make sure that I check in with them and I follow up like I'm on it. Otherwise, they just go into my follow-up collection. Okay. Yeah, Megan said she couldn't afford it for months, but got a large amount of Christmas money and bought her first challenge pack. Keep loving on those people. They will come around. Yes. Sorry, I was driving. It's okay. Perfect. What should we put should we put the cost in our stories? I never do. I never put the cost in my stories. That's always personal conversation. There's just no reason to put the cost in your stories. You could put, you could put something essentially of like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think why you would ever do that. Maybe if you're like doing a story call to action and you could put like packs start at packs range from 160 to 300 depending on what your goals are. Like you could put that out there so people knew like, oh, there's an investment. Okay, sweet. I still want some info. But otherwise there's like no reason to put it in there. Yeah. Unless you've already explained all of the value. That's what I'm saying. Like if you're doing a story call to action, you've shared your story, you're sharing what you do as a coach, who you work with, what the group is like, what they're getting with their packs, how it works, and the investments are between 160 and 300, depending on what game plan's best for you, something like that. But otherwise, yeah. Put the value in their stories, why it's amazing. Yes. You can even just say that what it equates to. For me, it was one pair of pants and a shirt. Yeah, that's a good, unless they shop at Walmart, I guess, then that wouldn't be the same. Okay, anything else, you guys? 30 seconds. True. Candace said if you give them the price in your stories, they don't have an actual reason to reach out. So you can't help them get past their fear to try it. You need to have the message with them or follow up. Yeah, totally. All right, you guys, I feel like we covered lots of meat on this call. I like it. So it is the 26th. We have like 4 days to change some lives, hit Success Club, rock out your goals, make some money for Christmas or bills or whatever. You guys have to keep this business so real for you. What is it going to mean when you make another $100? What is it going to mean when you make another $200? Where is it going to go? How is it going to bless your family? Make it real to you, because changing lives is an awesome thing. But changing lives changes your family's life, and that's freaking rad too. And you have to always remember that. So let's get to work. Be brave. Send them invites. Have the conversations. Send the follow-ups. Like everyone, we should see the Success Club board blow up these next few days, because we have all of the, MM100 promo is ending. We have promo codes to use. Like, let's rock this out. And the work. Hello. We have so many things right now, you guys. Game on. Let's go crush some goals. Okay.